Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Lost in the Pond, and the video is 8 American things Britain doesn't have a word for part 6. I've reacted to, I don't know if I've reacted to all the parts, but I've reacted to a lot of them. This is the newest one that was just posted, so if you haven't, before watching my reaction, just go click on his, give it a like, watch it through, and then watch my reaction after. It would help, but yeah, let's just jump into this, to be honest. I don't have much to say. Posted a few Patreon reactions over the coming, actually I've not really shouted out for the last month or so. I've posted a lot since then. And there's just a lot on there in general. If you want to find that, links are all there. But let's just jump into this reaction.
Now, you've got to be careful with this because in the US, just about everything you can think of can be defined as ranch. Ranch is an area of land, a style of housing, and a type of salad dressing.
Style of housing? I know the salad dressing.
Hello, this video is sponsored by Wondrium. I'm Lawrence Brown and I...
Getting this one, wasn't this the one where... Oh no, he shouts out in the middle, doesn't he?
I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to things and stuff, specifically things and stuff for which the other country doesn't have a word. And over the past year, as part of that, I've been looking at American things, the kinds of things that were instantly alien to me the day I moved here. So far, I've looked at Muddy Buddies, Candy Corn, and Sophomores. That last one sounds like it should be a candy, but isn't, as well as a host of American things that we don't have in Britain. And today, I'm excited to bring you part 6 in the series, which critics are saying is the second best entry so far. And so, without any further faffing about, here are 6 American things that Britain doesn't even have a word for. Part 6. I'll tell you something, being on an American road for the first time is quite an experience. Because not only is everybody driving in the wrong direction, not only are American cars the size of trucks and trucks the size of towns, but they're all covered in stickers, you know, it's like being on a NASCAR track. Except most of the time these stickers are not corporate sponsors, but really funny or sometimes angry political statements, or religious affiliations, or a signal to other drivers that this car doesn't just have humans in it, there's also a baby on board. And these are known as bumper stickers, which to some Americans is quite a generous term, because some people plaster them all over the boot/trunk, and even the back window, which, you know, might elicit some interesting responses to the sticker that says, "How's my driving?" But in Britain,
you do get a few stickers on like people's windows and stuff, but that's pretty much it. There's the occasional car where you'll be like, what the hell? They've got a lot of stuff on this car, but other than that, you don't really see it. I mean, why would you plaster your car with all this stuff? It's like, I can understand maybe 1 or 2 things, but people just have loads of these stickers on their cars. Like, why? It just sort of ruins out looks, but hey, people want to express themselves,
Britain,
right?
It's rare that you'll see these things because the only people that play with stickers are children, and they're not really people. The one exception to this is those stickers that you see on some British cars that says GB, which stands for Gigabyte, but also Great Britain. And this was used by British drivers who drive on the continent. But you won't even see these anymore because as of September of last year, these letters have changed from GB to UK, not as in the University of Kentucky, but the United Kingdom. I don't know why I explained that. Anyway, these are known as number plate stickers and aren't really quite the same thing as bumper stickers. Well, Easter is on the horizon, which means I have to be wary about people putting Peeps in my mouth. Sorry, I was force-fed.
See, when I hear the word Peeps, it's sort of like a shortened term for people, like, oh, the Peeps, but no one says it. I've never heard anyone say Peeps, I just know it's a thing. Oh, let's go. How would you use it in a sentence? Or peeps into my eye. Peeping into someone's eye. Something like that. Yeah, I don't really know. I can't. When you peep into someone's eye, is it sort of when you look directly in someone's eye, or like you sort of look secretively? Is that it? I don't really know.
I did them a few years ago and I haven't let it go. Peeps? What are peeps? My British viewers might be asking. And peeps, outside of social and political injustice.
Oh yeah, no, peeping. When you peep, you sort of peep. You sort of have a little sneaky look, isn't it?
This are the single worst thing that America has ever done. They are little candy that usually take the shape of creepy little birds that are essentially marshmallows covered in heaps of sugar, corn syrup, and food dyes. And that last one is appropriate because this food needs to die. Now, I'm not in the habit of ripping to pieces American food. Most of it I love, but these things are evil. And the reason that I bring them up, in more ways than one, is that it's nearly Easter and these things find their way to your kitchen cupboards whether you want them to or not. Thankfully, we did not have these in Britain. Instead, we got Easter eggs, so when someone asks me what came first, the chicken or the egg, my answer is unequivocal. In recent years, Britain might have adopted the propensity...
What? That's smart, though. I mean, it's smart for the US because it's a car-based country. I I mean, I guess it is smart because people will drive to the pharmacy anyway. They'll just park in like driving spots. But drive-through pharmacies, so I guess you sort of order your whatever you need and then you just go pick it up a few days later in your car. That's kind of makes sense, to be fair. That's weird, though. I can't imagine what they look like. I hope he shows a few pictures.
For adding a drive-through at a fast food restaurant. But so far, the idea of a drive-through pharmacy, which you need after devouring 400 Peeps, is something of an alien concept back home. Whereas in America, drive-through pharmacies are everywhere. That's not literally true. But at last count, there are more than 6,000 of them nationwide. And how do they work? Well, you drive up to the side of the building, give your name and prescription details, and then the prescription just falls down a pipe, right? It's like reverse Augustus Gloop. What? And if you want more details on the difference between British and American pharmacies, check out my video, 5 Ways British and American Pharmacies Are Very Different. Until then, let's talk about this. In Britain, we absolutely love our sauces and dressings, to the extent that we put mayonnaise in everything.
I hate mayonnaise. I used to like it. I just decided I didn't like it anymore. I just use barbecue sauce with everything. So I like certain sauces, but yeah, I'm really basic with just having barbecue sauces.
Including our tea. I was 18 going through an experimental phase. What are you going to do? And for salads, to the extent that we eat them, we use a condiment called salad cream. And to my surprise, salad cream is quite hard to find in the United States, where everyone's talking about ranch. Now, you've got to be careful with this, because in the US, just about everything you can think of can be defined as ranch. Ranch is an area of land, a style of housing, and a type of salad dressing. Made from buttermilk, salt, garlic, onion, mustard, herbs, spices, and a sauce based on mayonnaise. Ranch is extremely popular. In fact, a 2017 study by the appropriately named Association for Dressings and Sauces found that 40% of Americans considered ranch to be their favourite dressing. Let me know in the comments below if you're one of them. And I can tell you right now that I am not, because I'm not American. The cynics among you might think that the transition from ranch to waste disposal was somehow symbolic, but it wasn't. This bit was supposed to come after Peeps. But when it comes to practical uses, sink waste disposal units are easily my 3rd favourite discovery since moving to the US. And now you're thinking, ooh, don't leave us hanging, Lawrence. What's 1 and 2? Simple, aircon and bug screens. But sink waste disposals are just really satisfying.
Wait,
you flick a switch.
Yeah, that would be so good, man, because when I have to, like, when I grate my carrots and stuff, I have to, like, do it obviously on the cutting board, and then I like have to then put it in a bowl, but it all gets stuck on the counter and stuff. You got to clean it up. If you could just do it in the sink, then it just gets caught up. That would just be so easy, man. Oh, I'm jealous. But did he say bug? What did he say?
But sink hanging, Lawrence. What's 1 and 2? Simple, aircon and bug screen.
Bug screens. Is that what, like the things that you put on Windows? Bug screens. It is. Oh my god, yeah. From what he said, these are literally things that I need in my life. Again, the UK doesn't get that hot, but I'm one of the weirdest people you ever meet. I just love cold. I like it when it's warm outside, but like in my house and in my room, I love it being cool and cold. Especially on summer days, like I just get too hot. I've got to have the windows shut and all this kind of stuff. These two, because I always have my windows open when I sleep and stuff, and that's why I always probably get spiders in my flat. And all these bugs just flying around. I'm guessing I could just buy these from like a shop, to be fair. They're probably not that hard to get. They look quite simple, but maybe they're only made for certain windows, and our windows are quite weird. Oh, I'm jealous. And these too, bro. Oh, I'm jealous, man. These are all so useful. Why don't we have them here, man?
But sink waste disposals are just really satisfying. You flick a switch, usually on the wall. It makes a kind of sound for a little bit, and then that dissipates as the food gets chopped up, and you're just left with a mechanical hum. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, you know. But one thing that's tricky about these things is that if you wake up at 6 in the morning and you haven't had coffee yet, and you go to flick what you think is the light switch, it certainly wakes you up and gives you palpitations and forces another trip to the drive-through pharmacy. But then who gets up at 6 AM, right? I don't even get out of bed for less than 5 slices of bacon. And that would be even more true if I had a Texas King, and that's not Tommy Lee Jones. That is yet another American mattress size that we don't have an equivalent of in Britain. We've looked at the California King, we've looked at the Alaska King. The Texas King is appropriately smaller than the Alaska King. But it's still huge, clocking in at a frankly ridiculous 80 inches by 98 inches. It's about 3 feet longer than your average park bench or Sissy Spacek. Anyway, while we're on the topic of the American lexicon of things, that brings us on to this. In past videos, I introduced you to the Great Courses Plus.
Oh, it was. I remember seeing this one before. The footage just used here is stuff that would spark my interest too. I love seeing space stuff.
Love and pursue learning. Enter one.
If you're interested, like I always say when I watch people's videos when they have ads, go to his video. He's just posted this one too, so it's still in effect. Go to his video. All that kind of jazz, and yeah, show him some support. I'd appreciate that, and I'm sure he would too. But
where you can find all of the tried and true Great Courses Plus content and more. For instance, have you ever wondered how English took on a life of its own in America? I'm thrilled to recommend Professor Natalie Schilling's English in America, a Linguistic History. This course even taught me a lot. Like, did you know that Noah Webster, the father of American English, wanted to replace the U in soup with a second O? Mind-blowing. Well, Wondrium is where you find the answer to
soup. How would that be said? Would it still be said the same?
Upon right now to begin your free trial. The link is in my description below. Oh, possums, to give them their full name, are a species of marsupial that we don't have in Britain. But the opossum, specifically the Virginia opossum, is widely found throughout the United States. But that wasn't always the case. You see, one of my favourite facts about possums is that they were only able to migrate from South America to North America once the two continents came together. And this migration, along with a lot of other species, is known as the Great American Interchange, which is not to be confused with the one in Los Angeles. Anyway, the only time that I ever heard the word possum growing up in Britain was from Dame Edna. Like, she'd refer to us as possums, which was obviously an Australian term of endearment, at least I thought. Because it turns out that Australia has its own species of the marsupial. And they're not known, at least in America, for being pretty, so I think Dame Edna was trolling us. I learned something early on after moving to the US. There are 3 things that you can't go more than a few days without seeing references to. Geico Insurance, Flow from Progressive, and Buffalo Wings. And the idea of Buffalo Wings was genuinely confusing at first, because when I think of buffalo, the last thing I think of are fly...
Obviously it's not chicken wings, it's just buffalo. I've never had buffalo. I guess it just tastes like cow? Maybe? Buffalo wings? That sounds kind of wild, actually. I wonder what it tastes like. It's probably quite chewy, isn't it?
Flying buffalo. Although that would be amazing. And the end of American society. But no, it turns out that buffalo wings are in fact deep-fried chicken wings. And
okay, so they are chicken wings. My head is all over the place.
Skeptical at first, partly because I hadn't yet overcome the buffalo confusion. But they're actually quite nice, especially down to the fact that they're covered in hot sauce. So why are they called buffalo wings? Well, it's actually quite simple. You know how cheddar cheese comes from the English town of Cheddar? Well, you do now. Well, buffalo wings are said to have originated in Buffalo, New York. I feel like a right idiot. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below.
There we go then. The more you know, right? I always enjoy seeing these ones, to be fair. For the garbage disposal, what you call the sink waste disposal units, my home has the switch under the sink specifically, so you don't confuse it with a light switch. It was the first time I saw a switch that wasn't directly next to appearing the light switch. I agree with you on the Peeps. They're nasty, sticky, and sickeningly sweet. I've never before heard anyone call a garbage disposal a sink waste disposal. That sounds sort of British. In case no one else said it, buffalo wings go really well with ranch dressing. See, I wish I was like a connoisseur of like all these different sauces, but I'm just so picky with sauces. I just sort of stick to what I want, you know? Well, I have tried other ones and I just don't like them, to be fair, but it probably would be good for me if I just liked more foods. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. I'm just looking at comments to read, but there's not really much to say. But yeah, if you want more reactions like this, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to do so. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, peace.